This is the What the Ruck Rugby podcast with Angus Opperman.
Well, we all know the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. The Stormers and John Dobson and co clearly haven't learned of any of their matches where they played a second string outfit that it won't pay off 9 out of 10 times. There was the odd instance where it happened, but if you do the calculation, you see how many times they got away with it. Not many. And logic as well. You fight to get to a position to compete for a round of 16 plays. You thrash Sale at home by 40 points unanswered, only to take a strong squad to Europe and then wrap the first team, so-called first team, in cotton wool to play against Leinster the next week, but then put out a second string side to play against Racing Metro, or Racing 92 is known these days. Where's the logic? Did you not say you're going to give it a full go and make sure that you qualify for this competition? And yes, to be fair, the Stormers got close. There was a time it was 24-22. Had it not been for a misconversion, it could have been level. And then the home side just turned the tap open and just made sure they got the result. And I won't lie, it's pretty upsetting as a Stormers fan. It's not the reason I'm not wearing my Stormers jersey as I normally do. For starters, it's quite hot, and second, I just got out of the gym, so yeah, I still got my Stormers water bottle here for the 2024-5 season. But let's look back at this game, guys. It's really upsetting. It's really mind-boggling. But as per normal, go through the stats. Tackles made, 132 by Racing, 155 by the Stormers. So obviously they had to work a lot more harder as opposed to Racing in terms of defense. And I will tell you more about how much possession they had as well. Missed tackles 22-43. Stormers missing quite a bit more, and also their percentage of tackle completion is 78% in comparison to 86 of Racing 92. Carries Racing 133, Stormers 115. Again, it comes down to possession and quality of carries as well. Line breaks, now this is the big one, 14-4. That kind of gives it away. If you got 14 line breaks, it's actually surprising that the score isn't bigger, because that's normally where your points come from. A line break normally leads to either penalty or try. I would say 6 out of 10 times, So I think Racing might even think to themselves, geez, we could have put these guys away by a bigger margin, but they didn't. And then, of course, turnovers 1, 8 to Racing, 7 to the Stormers, so pretty even in that regard. I felt that a guy like Dion Free, had he played, who knows, anything could have happened. I felt that loose trio was 3, number 8, as opposed to a balanced loose trio. That was probably the first selection mistake they had as well. The backline was a bit thin. I'm a big fan, or becoming a big fan of Johnny Roach, but he's still untested at this level. And yes, he had a good game against Sale. But yeah, you could see every tackle he made against those big Fijian guys like Abosi. You could see the energy levels just dropping. And that's when they started slipping off tackles and the hole started to appear. And that's how Racing got back into the game. And then, with that came a few injuries as well. So Evan Ruiz got a fracture to the cheekbone. There's been some sort of video evidence that he's actually got like a forearm or shoulder, I think, to the face. He finished the game, but clearly, they said they're going to go for scans for him. Otzenberg have a potential fractured hand. There's no update as of yet to how his condition is. And Weber just have a bit of a stinger, so nothing too serious. So he could be in line for the game against Leinster. Preview-wise, we can go forward to the Leinster game now. Just a bit of news, just transfer news on Nathan Fouché signed a 3-year contract with the Stormers. He felt that it's the best place for him to reach his park ambitions, which is awesome to see. I'm very happy, especially with Malherbe going into his golden years now, if he's not there already. And then, of course, Ben Loader, the Englishman. I'm not too upset about it because, you always want to go back home somewhere. Or at some point, apparently he's been, not scouted, but wanted by Gloucester. And apparently it's almost a done deal. It just needs to be a case of put pen on paper. But not too upset about him. He's a good player, but I think there's more than enough wings, especially in the Western Cape. So we just got to make sure we retain the good ones and not let them go like we did with Curtly Arends and Kanan Moody. Just saying, Western Province Brain Trust. But looking forward to the Leinster game. So we're obviously going to have guys like Amani back. We're probably going to have all the star players available that are on tour available for this match. And the other question is, will Leinster also have their best players with the Six Nations starting in 2 weeks? That's the other question as well. So I think regardless of who may play, the Stormers must go all out. And if they lose this game, it will probably be the worst decision John Dobson and his team could have taken. because then you really took the gamble to play, which didn't pay off against Racing, a second string side, only then to go against Leinster, who's unbeaten by the Western in this competition, and probably have a good chance of winning that one as well. It's not everyone who goes to the RDS arena and actually get a result. It's pretty rare for a team to actually get that. Although, to be fair, the Stormers never lost to Leinster, believe it or not. The only time they played there was in 2022, 2023, if I'm not mistaken, and there was a 22-all draw. Very atrocious conditions, but the Stormers played actually very well that day. And the previous times, of course, Leinster all lost those games in Cape Town. So Stormers not renowned for travelling well. I think that's the one thing. Also, we're not sure about the conditions because it is basically winter that side of the world. Whereas we come from a very hot summer, or we are in a very hot summer at the moment. As you can see, I'm very loosely dressed in an old Marty's t-shirt. Just came from a workout now a couple of minutes ago. But yeah, all in all, I feel that the Stormers might have made a massive mistake here, not to play the first team against Racing. I think also it would have helped with cohesion for the next match, because chopping and changing is fine, but chopping and changing certain positions or key positions are not. You can look back at the Chiefs team of 2012, 2013. They had 6-7 changes per week. But every time it was just like a minor tweak, like a guy on the wing, or maybe a change at say, number 8. Not big positions. They all count, obviously, but just minor stuff. And it's normally guys that it's like a bomb squad, what policy they had. Like the one guy's not better than the other necessarily. They're all good when they actually come onto the field. So that's also a case of depth. But yeah, all I can wish and hope for is the Stormers win this weekend. Will it happen though? I wouldn't put my life savings on it. I'll probably put a $10 on it. It's nothing much to lose, but no. Don't think the Stormers will pull this one through, in all honesty. I think it's probably our worst season in quite some time so far. It's been regressing now since that 2023 finally we lost against Munster. Things haven't been the same, and we need to get some introspection, look ourselves into the mirror and see where we went wrong and how we can actually fix this, because I felt, and I think Harry mentioned this as well, it's not hard fixes, it's small stuff, but it just doesn't seem to apply themselves. So yeah, to the Stormers boys, I wish you all the best for this weekend. I wish you get the result. I wish you can give me egg on my face. I won't mind it. But unfortunately, if stats and all other things considered are indicating anything, I'm not going to bank on the Stormers win this weekend. But guys, enjoy the week. Enjoy the rugby this weekend as well. Be safe, and I'll be back next week. Cheers.
This is the What the Ruck Rugby podcast with Angus Opperman.